Dear learners, I welcome you all to this second module that is Growth of Distance Education of the online course entitled Introduction to Distance and Digital Education. As a learner in this course, in the first module, you have learned about the basic concept of education in general and distance education in particular, their relevance in the context of the 21st century. In this second module, you will learn about the growth and emergence of distance education in the world, country, and the state as a whole. So, the main objectives of this module are to explain the growth of distance education in the world, particularly in Asia, to discuss the growth and relevance of distance education in India as a whole. If we look at the growth of distance education in the world, then it seems distance education has a long history. Earlier, it was known as correspondence education. Correspondence education refers to the teaching-learning situation where the teacher and the learner have no face-to-face contact. They interact only through postal correspondence. Print is the only medium of instruction, and printed lessons are the only source of learning for the learner. The correspondence education took formal shape in England in 1840 through Isaac Pitman, who started using postal tuition to teach shorthand to many of his students spread all over England. At international level, distance education was started in 1883 when a private tutor taught English composition to his students by post, providing two-way communication. Later, the scope of correspondence education was widened, terming it as distance education, under which various forms of learner support services are provided for effective teaching-learning process. In distance education, students' support services and a variety of evaluation methods are an important component. It is a learner-based approach. Apart from the print media, it includes the non-print media such as radio, television, audio cassettes, video cassettes, computer, and other electronic media. Open learning was named in one of the issues of the Pitman's Journal in 1929. Long before the first Open University in the world, that is the UK Open University, which was established in UK in 1969. Pitman was the pioneer who introduced the shorthand education through correspondence system for the first time. Open learning and open education are closely associated. Today, the open and distance learning is the most popular media of learning through which people can easily access the global learning in his or her doorsteps. Commonwealth of Learning, that is commonly known as COLE, is an organization that helps the Commonwealth member states to harness the potentials of distance education and technology to enhance the people's access to learning that contribute to development. One of the COLE's priorities is providing equitable access to quality learning. COLE first started its operation in 1988 when there were only 10 open universities in the Commonwealth countries, and in 2022, the number increased to more than 30. This shows the huge expansion in dedicated ODL institutions linked to the phenomenon of the massification of higher education, especially in the developing Commonwealth countries. Asia has the largest number of adult ODL learners in the world, with over 70 open universities, 13 of which are mega universities. India alone has a growing network of 16 open universities, about 14 open schools, and nearly 112 dual-mode universities, which collectively cater to over 10 million learners during 2020-21. Even though the majority of distance education programs in universities across Asia were developed before the advent of the internet and relied on the use of printed and multimedia learning material, broadcast radio and television, in addition to in-person tutorial session, the current distance education were starting to be dominated by online learning mode, which has generated a sizable online learning market on a regional level. According to Allied Market Research, e-learning, which is another term used for online learning, market in Asia valued at $38,257 million in, which is another million in 2020, and is estimated to reach a value of $1,62,158 million by 2030. Even the occurrence of COVID-19 pandemic, which limits people's physical mobility, has accentuated the need for online learning, and size of the Asia e-learning market in 2021 reached $43,790 million. The massive growth of online learning is both the cause and effect of the internet penetration in Asia. Internal World States estimates that Asia's internet penetration increased by over 2,500% between 2000 and 2022. Even the penetration rate in 2022 is around 67%. If we look at how the open universities have emerged in Asia, in the context of Asia, the Asian community has long placed a high value on education, and education is seen as the catalyst for social welfare, upward social mobility, and overall human well-being. Nowadays, Asia emerges as one of the distance education's major beneficiaries and players. Asia is also one of the first continents to widely adopt the principles of open education in order to increase access to higher education by creating open universities based on the United Kingdom Open University, which is UK Open University model. The Korea National Open University, established in 1972, was the first open university in Asia. It was soon followed by Pakistan's Allama Iqbal Open University, founded in 1973. Since that time, other additional open universities have risen up in various Asian nations where they now dominate the region's distance education market. These open universities are single-mode institutions that only provide distance education for their degrees and continuing education programs. By 2011, there were around 70 open universities, at least 10 mega universities, numerous traditional schools offering distance education, and increasing number of commercial and for-profit distance education providers functioning throughout Asia. The number has undoubtedly increased, and currently India alone has one national open university, that is IGNOU, along with 15 state open universities. South Korea has not less than 17 cyber and digital universities which provide education completely online. In addition to the Korean National Open University, China has 6 open universities, previously named Central Radio and Television, and 5 provincial radio and television universities that runs similarly to open universities, and Malaysia has at least 2 open universities and 1 cyber university. In addition to those institutions specifically focused on distance education, an increasing number of campus-based universities are also providing distance education programs, particularly in light of the COVID-19 pandemic's recent outbreaks. As an example, the pandemic forced over 4,000 higher education institutions in Indonesia that were entirely campus-based to shift their courses to online formats. Many of those institutions are predicted to continue offering distance education even after the pandemic is ended. Since improving educational access was one of the primary drivers behind the establishment of an open university, the majority of open universities in Asia follow the concept and principles of open education. They provide everyone access to their system, irrespective of their age, place of residence, or level of income. It is clear that the vast majority of open universities encourage and enable lifelong learning. Prior to the advent of internet, open university services were offered to students via pre-produced printed materials, that is supplemented with audio and video materials, in-person service including face-to-face tutorial as well as pencil and paper test. This is why the majority of open universities stand out by having a head office equipped with production and distribution facilities, which are uncommon for campus facilities in traditional institutions, as well as a network of regional offices of learning centers in the region where they operate. For instance, Indira Gandhi National Open University has 56 regional centers, 11 recognized regional centers, and almost 2,000 learner support centers across India. The Bangladesh Open University has 12 regional centers, 80 regional centers, and 1,550 study centers. The Open University of China has 45 provisional branches and 3,735 study centers, and University of Tarbuka has 39 regional offices, 1 overseas student center, 70 learning centers, and around 1,000 learning group points. So, this is the actually a brief picture regarding the open universities in Asia. If we look at particularly the history of distance education in India, then it seems in India there were only 20 conventional universities and about 500 affiliated colleges at the time of independence. After independence, the need for horizontal and vertical expansion of higher education was very much felt, keeping in view the need of the economy and aspiration of the people. In 1961, a 10-member commission headed by Dr. D.S. Kothare was constituted by the Government of India to suggest the ways and means to increase the access of people to higher education, and the commission recommended the introduction of correspondence courses at the university level with equivalent status of conventional study. Accordingly, the University of Delhi established the School of Correspondence Courses and Continuing Education in 1962 as a pilot project which received a favorable response of the aspirants. Subsequently, several conventional universities set up their own directorates and correspondence courses. Today, there are more than 112 universities that have directorates of distance education offering programs through distance mode. The full-fledged form of open and distance learning started globally after the establishment of the first open university in the United Kingdom, that is the Open University UK in 1969. This had its bearing in India too. Subsequently, the first state open university in India, namely Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, which is situated in Hyderabad, formerly known as Andhra Pradesh Open University, was established by an act of the state legislature on August 26, 1982, on the line of the British Open University. The first Indian Open University's mandate was to provide educational opportunities to adult learners who could not get a chance of pursuing higher education in the conventional universities, and to democratize higher educational opportunities to the disadvantaged sections of the society. The second open university to be established was the Indira Gandhi National Open University, that is IGNOU, in 1985 by an Act of Parliament, National Open University, with its jurisdiction throughout the country. Following this trend, Kota Open University in 2002, Nalanda Open University in 1995, Yashwant Rao Open University in Maharashtra 1989 were established as the state open universities by the respective state government, and the Krishnakanta Hendrik State Open University was established in 2006 by the government of Assam. Odisha State Open University is the most recent open university which was established in 2015 by the government of Odisha. At present, there are 15 state open universities, that is the 14 public state open universities and 1 private state open universities, besides the only national open university, that is IGNOU. The basic motto behind the ODL institution is to make democratization of education in India. Whenever we talk about the growth and development of distance education, it has passed through many stages. In this connection, Professor James C. Taylor has divided distance education into 5 generations. namely correspondence model based on print technology, multimedia model based on print, audio and video technology, tele-learning model based on application of telecommunication technologies providing synchronous communication, flexible learning model based on online delivery via internet, intelligent flexible learning model based on advanced online technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, etc. Today, the pedagogy of ODL includes delivery interactive multimedia, CD-ROM, internet-based tutoring, learner support, enhanced quality interaction anywhere, anytime, synchronous and asynchronous communication, equal opportunities for learners to participate or contribute, interpersonal interaction through tutor, learner, peers, social networking and collaborative community inquiry-based pedagogy, etc. Thus, it has seen that open and distance learning in our country has already crossed many phases, but still it has a long way to go in providing quality education to all. Open and distance learning is a viable option through which it has been possible to make education accessible to all without any social, economic and cultural discrimination. Open learning system aims to redress social and educational inequalities and to offer opportunities to those who are deprived of getting education as well as to those who want to continue their education. Open learning facilitates the removal of the barriers and restrictions sometimes placed on students in the conventional education system. It does so by opening up learning opportunities to a wider range of people and enabling them to learn more congenially and periodically. Considering the wide scope of the ODL system in provide flexible access to higher education, general, professional and vocational, the Indian government, both at the center and the states, since 1980s, are giving due emphasis on the expansion of quality higher education through ODL mode, which accounts for about 12% of the total enrollment in this segment of higher education. It has also contributed subsequently towards the rise of the GER of India, which is about 26%. The most significant contribution of ODL, however, is that it provides the wider opportunities to the female learners for educating themselves and having a dignified life in the society. For instance, the enrollment of women in higher education through distance mode is 46.03%, whereas in regular mode, their share is not more than 45%. So in India, along with IGNOU, the other state open universities are also playing a prominent role in spreading the knowledge and making people empowered for living a decent standard of living. This table shows the enrollment as well as the average growth rate in open universities in different courses from the last 7 years in India, where it could found the trend of enrollment at the undergraduate level is fluctuating in nature. The average growth rate of the total enrollment in the year 2015-16 is much higher than the previous year and present year of the enrollment, that is 2017 and 18. At the undergraduate level, the male enrollment trend is higher than the female. However, if we look at the trend of enrollment at postgraduate level of the state open universities from 2011-12 to 2017-18, it has seemed that the female enrollment has increased in a faster way than the male enrollment. The conditions of having negative growth in terms of enrollment were due to not meeting the UGC norms, for which most of the state open universities could not offer their courses during the year 2017-18, particularly in the postgraduate program in the state open universities in India. However, if we look at the trend of enrollment in important programs at UG level in distance education mode from last 5 years, that is from 2018-19 to 2020-21, we could see the trend is also fluctuating, as some year like 2018-19 and 19-20, there were increased rate. Even it is also observed that, like conventional education, there were more enrollment in general courses and programs like BA, MA, then the programs like BSc, MSc, MBA, MCom, etc. in distance education too. In India, the trend of enrollment in the open universities also reflects the learning opportunities provided to the deprived sections of society by the open and distance education. This is because the flexibility and innovative ideas in distance and open learning meets the diverse needs and expectations of the learners in a very comprehensive way. Even it is the ODL system that provides the learning opportunities to all, where the education for inclusion, accessing world-class education, maintaining equity in education, providing quality lifelong learning opportunity to all, etc. are becoming a reality for everyone because of up-to-date and new media technologies in the learning delivery mechanism in ODL. So, dear friends, in conclusion, we can say that reducing the various disparities in education, enhancing the skills to be absorbed, providing education to the learner who are deprived as well as for those who want to take further education, to fulfill the various expectations and need of the people, to make the democratization of education and so on, we must have to ensure the relevance of ODL, which seems to be the only alternative way that can promote accessibility and equity in education in our country. Quality of education is also another issue that has to go hand in hand with the promotion of accessibility. Because if quality is not achieved, this education will not be able to ensure human resource development properly and hence contribute to the all-round development in the society. In reality, for making people empowered in the real sense, we need sustainable education, which in my view only ODL can provide. So basically in this module we have discussed how the today distance education is commonly known as open and distance learning. Open learning was named in one of the issues of the Pitman's Journal in 1929. Open learning and open education are closely associated. Open University was first established in UK in 1969. Today, the open and distance learning is very popular system of learning through which people can easily access various facts and of global learning at his or her own doorstep. At present, in India, there are 15 state open universities and one national open university, that is IGNOU. ODL system has passed through many stages or phases to come to use the present day online technology. The trend of establishing open and distance universities and institutions is fast increasing, and thus it contributes significantly towards making education accessible to the people. In the next module, we shall discuss digital education and emerging trends of digital education in detail. So see you soon. Thank you.